Nadal, his personal humility while defying every possible mental and physical challenge, his expressions of pure love and motivation for the game transcend tennis, maybe even sports itself. We met this morning in Paris. Rafael Nadal, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Hello.
You know, there's so many superlatives, the greatest of all time, inspiring, unique. The only word I can think of is hallucinatory. What you produced these 2 weeks, it defies reason, it defies logic, it defies physics. Do you believe that?
Well, have been an interesting 2 weeks, emotional 2 weeks, and we went through a little bit of everything, but at the end the things finishes the best way possible now. So I can't be happier, and I can't be more thankful to everyone, because the support and the love that I received during the both weeks have been unforgettable.
A lot of love, and there's the cup. I mean, there we have it, the great trophy. 14 times, 22 Grand Slams, a whole load of other, US Open, Australian Open, 2 Olympic gold medals. Are you ready to declare, or at least have people say, that you are now the greatest of all time? You wouldn't agree when I asked you last time.
I honestly don't think much about that, and from the bottom of my heart, I really don't care that much. I mean, I think it doesn't matter. I think we achieved our dreams. I achieved my dream, and I enjoy what I am doing. Yeah, I understand the question, and I know the press and people is always caring a lot about this stuff. But in some way, I know I am in an important part of the history of the sport, and that makes me feel proud, happy, and at the end, doesn't matter much.
When you came off the court yesterday, in your on-court speech, you said, "I never thought that at 36 years old and with all these injuries that I would be in this position." And we see your fingers bandaged like Muhammad Ali after he takes off his boxing gloves. We see your feet, and you're limping today. It is an amazing achievement, because you yourself said, and you turned to your team saying, "I didn't think I would be here." What made you achieve this?
Well, it's unexpected. Last couple of years have been very difficult. After the pandemic, something happened in my foot, and I am not able to manage the pain to play often and even practice. And in the past, I have a lot of things. Starting from the foot for the first time in 2005, then. Of course, the knees have been a big issue for me for such a long time. Then a couple of times I break my wrists. I don't know, but the only thing that I can say is going through all these probably challenges, I always hold the passion for keep going, and I always hold the love for the game, and I always wanted to keep going, and that's probably why I am in the position that I am today.
So because you've just said that, you always wanted to keep going, there was a whole load of gossip and innuendo and rumor that you might announce your retirement, and that particularly if you hadn't won, you might announce your retirement. Clearly you haven't done that, and you're going to Wimbledon if you can. Nothing
changed for me. Winning or losing don't change my mind in that case. It's all about having the chance to be happy playing tennis or not. And if the pain is impossible to manage, then you can't be happy, because live and go on court and in a practice days without having the chance to practice not in a fantastic way, but in a decent way, then for me it don't make sense. So I never had in my mind to announce any retirement after this event, but of course there is a possibility that the things are not improving. Then I don't know what can
So
happen.
you have a syndrome, is it called Muller-Weiss syndrome on your feet?
Yeah.
What does it actually do? And you said yesterday that you had to inject your feet to numb them to play the final. Was it just that one day, or did you have to do it throughout this 2 weeks?
No, I did it. I had to do every
Yes.
single day. Because if not, I was not able to.
Yeah.
I will not be able to give myself a chance to compete well. No, 3 weeks ago I played in Rome, and I after one set and a half I started to play on one leg because I was not able to run at all. No, so let's see. I am just. Super happy about the things that happened, but of course I need to keep finding solutions for that.
So I think it was your coach, I think it was Carlos Moya, who said that at this time in your career, yes, you have to manage the pain and you have to see where that leads you, but in terms of tennis, you've got it. I mean, you've obviously got that down. There's nothing more that you can achieve in the technical side, that it's all about the mind now.
Well, I always think that there is always a room to keep improving. I understand the sport that way. No, every time that I go on a practice, I go with the goal of improving something. No, and that's the way that I understand the sport. For me, don't make sense just practice for practice. No, when I go to practice, I go with the determination to improve something. No, and that's the way that I approach it all my tennis career. Of course. Today, the physical issue makes the difference now, because if I am healthy, I can practice the proper way. I am happy. I enjoy what I am doing. Of course, this year I am playing well, so then the chances are increasing.
But when you're in the Australian Open final and you're 2 sets down and you're playing the guy who won the US Open final, what goes through your mind? Even here, you were. Like when you played Felix Auger-Aliassime, I was there, I watched it, and it was very touch and go. What steel trap do you...
On my mind is normal thing that I lose. But if I lose, let the opponent win me, no?
Beat you.
Beat you, exactly.
So they still have to beat you. You're not going to let anything go.
I don't have to lose, you know. I don't have to give. I don't have to put the things easy for the opponent, no. And in my mind is okay. Things are super difficult, but let's keep trying to find a solution. You know, let's keep trying to find a way to play a little bit better, to make the opponent feel a little bit more uncomfortable. I don't know, just try to fight mentally and in terms of tennis, of course.
You have a reputation of being just a good guy. You have a reputation of being humble. You're always generous. Where does that come from? Where did that come from in your youth or in your experience as a winner?
Well, I think I grew up with the good values. No, I think my family. I never felt the pressure from my family to play tennis. I always felt the pressure from my family to be educated, to be respectful, not to win, honestly, and that helps. No, and I think I had the right people next to me during all my life. No, and I think I am a guy that listen a lot. Look around and try to take the things that I like from the people, no, and because of tennis, I think I was able to live experiences that I will never enjoy without tennis, no, and know people, know different parts of the world, and in that case, you see how fortunate we are for all the things that we are able to live.
You must feel some joy at beating Federer and Djokovic in terms of the Grand Slams. Can you take some joy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, of course. I as I said, of course, I want to be the player with more Grand Slams of the history. That's competition, but it's not something that I am upset at all, and it's not something that honestly changed my mind. No, and maybe
that's how you keep achieving.
You never know, but honestly, it's something that not bothers me if Novak win 23 and I stay with 22. I think my happiness will not change at all, not even a 1%. No,
So people like McEnroe and Mats Wilander and others have been saying never again. This record will never be touched. It will never be broken. Specifically, the 14 French Opens. A, do you agree with that?
Difficult to say that from myself, no. But I mean, I always have something in mind that I always consider myself a very normal guy. So if I did it, maybe somebody else can do it. But it's obvious that the record of 22 Grand Slams, I think, is something much more possible. That somebody increase that record. I am sure that's going to happen. I mean, 14 Roland Garros is something, I mean, very difficult. I don't know, because,
Yeah, very, very difficult. And you love Roland Garros, and you always say that it's your favorite. But I understand that clay is the toughest surface to play. So tell me about what it takes to win on clay.
Well, clay, in terms of physical demanding, yeah, it's the toughest, because in terms of tactics too, because you have more time to think, you have more time to prepare the points, and in some way I think it's a surface that allows you to play aggressive or play defensive. You know, you have different chances, but I love to play in every single surface. No,
on all the surfaces.
Yeah. I enjoy it a lot playing on grass. Doing all my life, on hard too. Even sometimes the hard courts are a little bit tougher for my foot, honestly. But I don't know. I like the tennis in general in every surface, and that's one of the beautiful things that we have in our sport. That to be a great player, you need to improve your game in a very different circumstances.
Passing the torch is a big theme, you know, and we've seen a lot of young, great players come up, and then they meet you in whatever round it is, and then that's it. I thought it was really sweet when Casper Ruud said yesterday, I'm not his first victim. But he is also, you're his hero. When he came up, he said, through your Nadal Academy. What do you think when you're playing somebody like that, who clearly is, you know, hero worshipping you, but also wondering about where the torch is going to go? Do you ever think of that?
Well, in some ways normal, because we are old, so it's normal that the young players...
But that's what makes it abnormal, that you are old. I'm sorry, you're not, but for tennis, and you're still winning.
Well, yes, and for me it's something very beautiful that today I can still be competitive against players that they are young and they watch us play on TV when they are growing. No, it's something that it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful for them. It's beautiful for us, and that's a good combination. No, you know, generations facing each other. I think creates something special.
Now I want to ask you about the war in Ukraine and the fact that Wimbledon, for instance, has banned Belarusian and Russian athletes. Do you have a view on that?
Well, first of all, the world of tennis is zero. So when you see plenty of families, kids dying, suffering, then the rest of the things doesn't matter. You know, doesn't matter if Wimbledon do one thing or another thing, or if ATP does or do one thing or another thing, because the real thing and the real drama is that people is dying, you know, and a lot of families are suffering. That's the main thing. The rest of the thing doesn't matter. But of course, if you ask him about the position of Wimbledon, I from my humble point of view, I have a clear view. I understand what Wimbledon did. I respect what Wimbledon did, because it's something that, from my point of view, is fair enough, because they have, in some way, the pressure of the government, and they have their point of view. But from the ATP side, they have to protect their members too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not about what Wimbledon did is terrible and what ATP did is the right thing. No, I think both ways, both things are good. Everyone is defending their interest, and I respect both things. And nothing is better than the other, but in that case, I have my colleagues on the tour that I know them very well, that they can't say much, honestly, but
like
they
Medvedev and others.
Exactly, but they for sure don't have nothing to do with the war, no, and they can't do anything. So, and they are not in favor of that.
Here, there was a little bit of controversy that, for instance, those who pay for the primetime slots, the TV slots, mostly chose men's matches. I think there might have only been one in the evening, one female match. And there's been some calls to level it out a bit, put more female matches on in the evening. Where do you stand on that?
I don't think that's the case. It's always a lot of talks about the equal and this stuff, and I think prize money is equal. Matches on the center court are equal. 2 matches per day, women, 2 matches per day, men. During the day, that is when the women are playing 2 matches and the men are playing only 1 match. The television is open. You know, we see the matches on TV in an open channel in France Television, for example. During the night, you see in a private broadcast, so not everybody is allowed to watch our matches during the night sessions. So
you think it kind of equals out?
So from my perspective is if I have to say what I think, it's if we have to find the right balance, we are losing more than the women in that case, because the women are showing 2 matches in an open broadcast for everyone, so everyone in the world can see more women matches than men matches.
And what about you? Do you prefer playing at night or do you prefer playing the day? There was a lot of talk about when you played Djokovic.
Well, depending on the place, you know. For example, US Open night session is amazing. I like to play there, no. But Roland Garros for us, well, I have been playing Roland Garros for 17 years, so I know Roland Garros during the day. So you like to play in the conditions that you are used to play. No, since the beginning that I played the US Open, I know the US Open for the night sessions too, no? But not here.
Do you think you'll play the US Open? I ask because it's a hard surface and you're talking about your feet and things. If you can, you will.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And I guess finally, what makes Rafa Nadal happy? What makes you, beyond tennis?
Well, first of all, the good health of myself, of course, and the people that I love, because without health, the rest of the things are impossible. No, and I am not talking about injuries. No, I'm talking general health. Yeah. No, then I think I am lucky that I have my friends since I was a kid, the same group of friends, a very close family next to me. I don't know, share moments with the people that I like is what really makes me feel happy.
Rafael Nadal, thank you so much. Congratulations on making history. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks so much.